There's one thing that I think makes it incredibly hard for agents to succeed, and that is when they have more than one thing going on. Hi there, it's Kevin Ward, the founder of ListMaster's Real Estate Success Training, helping you get more yeses and more successes in your business and in your life. And one of the most common questions or comments that I get on my YouTube videos is from agents who are struggling to survive in real estate. A lot of times it's part-time agents, a lot of times it's brand new agents, and a lot of times it's just agents who are in general struggling. And in the work that I've done with thousands and thousands of agents over the last several years, and also just in my own business and my own experience, is there's one thing that I think makes it incredibly hard for agents to succeed, and that is when they have more than one thing going on. And they're not able to focus with single-mindedness on their business. And I want to just challenge you today that wherever you are in your real estate business, or if you're just thinking about getting into real estate, that you think about the power of focus, the power of single-mindedness, the power of saying, I am going to do one thing and become great at it. I think for part-time agents, is one of the greatest reasons that they fail is because a lot of agents are trying to work their way into real estate, and so they still have another gig going on. They've got another full-time job, and they're trying to do real estate on the side. Well, I get it, and believe me, I understand the dilemma, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but what I am going to say is it's tough. And I'm also going to say that the faster you can make that transition where that you're going from having two sets of focus, two things you're focusing on, to one, everything gets better exponentially faster. When lion tamers, as they used to call them, I don't know what they call them now, but they used to call them lion tamers in the circuses, and they would have the lions that they would train how to perform in the center ring at the circus. If you notice, what was the things that the lion tamer always had in his hands? And there were always typically two things. One, there was a whip that they would snap. And the other thing was a stool. Now, the whip was not to hit the animal, but it was because they could pop it and make that cracking noise, and that sudden cracking noise would startle the lion, which would be a distraction. Okay? A lion who is distracted is not dangerous. When you can keep a lion in distraction and they're like, what was that? When they're distracted, they're not going to attack. Number one. But number two was the stool. And they would have this stool and they would hold the stool up. And what we didn't know is we thought, I used to remember seeing this, and I was like, as a kid, I'm like, if I was a lion, that old lion could just bat that stool out of the way and he could have, free lunch with that lion tamer if he wanted. Why does a lion let that little stool stop him? And I found out something later on of why that worked effectively with lions, and it's simply this, that lions, as a predator cat, their vision is very much attuned to being able to laser focus on a prey and go after the prey. But whenever there's a stool facing them, it has three legs, and those three legs basically become 3 points of focus that are kind of in the lion's face, and the lion can't figure out what to focus on. It can't figure out which is the point of attack. What am I going to attack here? There's 1, 2, 3, and these legs are staring me in the face, and they can't figure out what to attack. And so they literally are paralyzed. They're frozen because their mind cannot figure out a point of attack to focus on one thing and boom, be predatory, right? That's what lion tamers discovered with lions. Well, that is also true of us. That whenever we've got multiple things we're trying to focus on, and some people call it multitasking, what we've discovered is, and they've discovered this through university studies and actual now science has proven, that when people are multitasking, when they're doing more than one thing, that double-mindedness actually makes them less effective at everything they do. So instead of doing multiple things well, they actually do multiple things, going back and forth from one thing to another, and they suck at all of it. The power of focus will change everything for your life. When you can develop the habit and the will to focus on one primary task. And Napoleon Hill, when he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, he called it having a definite major purpose. Gary Keller published a book a few years back called The One Thing, where with all the latest research just confirms what Napoleon Hill was teaching us back in the mid-1900s, and that is that those who want to achieve, those who want to succeed at a high level must have the ability to focus on one definite purpose. Not three definite purposes, one thing at a time. Now, it doesn't mean you can only do one thing in your life, but it means whatever it is that you're doing right now is the ability to focus on that one thing. If you're working in your business, that's your business, and it's got to be the focus, and every resource dialed in and focused on that is just like the power of a laser, where you can take a 1,000 watts of light and you flood it and it doesn't do anything, but you take that 1,000 watts of light and you bring it into a laser beam, and it can literally cut metal. Why? Because the power of focus. If you want to take your life from where it is to a level of total power, focus is the game changer. Going from being double-minded to being single-minded, and that ability to stay single-minded focus will change everything. It gives you more power, it gives you momentum, and it actually becomes attractive to others, because when they see you going and dialed in and you're moving and you're going somewhere, the law of attraction pulls people into helping you. It's been taught for generations now, and it simply makes all the difference. So look, whatever you want to do, focus on it and do it with single-minded purpose and all of your heart. If that helps you, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. If this helps you, if you got any questions, comment down below, share this with anybody else, and live in a way that you can always expect yes.